Chosen one, before you continue on with your day, before you scroll past this message or move on to the next task, I invite you to pause, right here, right now. This moment was not random. There is something deep within your spirit that recognized this interruption before your mind could even process it. Heaven does not interrupt casually. Every divine interruption carries purpose. And today, heaven has leaned in for you. Take a slow, deliberate breath. Let the noise around you soften, even if just for a moment. This is not a message meant to rush your spirit or overwhelm your understanding. It is meant to meet you gently, right where you are. In the busy rush of life, it's easy to forget how sacred each moment can be, but today, God is drawing you into something special, something personal. There's a reason you've arrived here today, chosen one. Long before you even knew heaven was aware of everything you've been carrying. The silent endurance, the unseen faith, the strength you summoned when no one could see how tired your heart truly was. Those moments when you quietly persisted, even when your spirit felt worn and your heart felt weary. Heaven saw it all. God has seen the unseen. He's watched every prayer whispered in the quiet, every sacrifice made in solitude. And so, chosen one, I want you to understand something very important in this moment. You may have wondered whether all your quiet sacrifices mattered, whether the prayers whispered in exhaustion ever reached beyond the ceiling, whether the small, seemingly insignificant acts of faith and endurance truly had any impact. And I want to tell you this clearly. Heaven has never been distant from your story. God has been attentive, not just to what you've done publicly, but to who you have remained privately. The true beauty of your journey has never been in the applause or the outward displays of success, but in your consistent faithfulness, your steady heart, your willingness to trust, even when there was no immediate reward or recognition. God sees all of it. Every quiet decision, every restrained response, every moment you chose faith over fear, every time you said yes to His will, even when it didn't make sense. None of it has gone unnoticed. Even the times when you felt like you were just surviving, when the weight seemed too heavy to bear, were moments of divine preparation. God was preparing you then for something bigger, something greater. The endurance and strength you've developed through these quiet, unseen seasons are shaping you into the person who is ready to carry out the divine purpose you were created for. What you assumed was merely getting through the day was in fact preparation for the assignment that God has laid before you. Now in this sacred moment, heaven is interrupting your day, not by accident, but by divine intention. This is not a random coincidence that you have stumbled upon this message. You have been guided here because your spirit is ready to recognize truth without explanation. The invitation to pause, to reflect, to breathe, and to settle into this moment is one of alignment. God is calling you into a space of connection and growth. This is not just another passing moment. This is a divine meeting place where God has drawn near to you, where He is ready to pour out clarity and purpose. When you pause to listen to God, when you take the time to slow down and be still, you open the door for heaven to speak directly into your spirit. This is the moment where the noise of the world fades away and you can hear the quiet whispers of God speaking directly to your heart. The world may be filled with distractions, pressures, and noise, but God has set this time aside for you. He is calling you to step away from the noise, to enter into a private moment with Him, where only His voice matters. In this divine pause, God will show you what He has been preparing you for, what He is calling you to, and what is yet to come. Now I want to encourage you to embrace the stillness. In a world that is constantly moving, rushing, and demanding our attention, the stillness can often feel uncomfortable. We are so accustomed to noise and busyness that when we are asked to be still, we can feel uneasy, uncertain. But chosen one, there is power in this stillness. This moment is not meant to rush your spirit or overwhelm your understanding. Instead, it is a time designed for spiritual clarity and grounding. This stillness is a gift from God, an opportunity to quiet the distractions of the world and open your heart fully to His voice. In the quiet, God can speak with greater clarity. When you are still and receptive, He can direct your steps, illuminate your path, and renew your spirit. God is calling you into a deeper connection with Him, a connection that requires you to listen with more than just your ears. He wants you to listen with your heart. The stillness is not empty. It is filled with divine presence. It is here in this sacred pause that you can hear God's whispers that will carry you forward in your journey. When you embrace the quiet, you are aligning your spirit with God's divine timing. You are allowing the noise around you to soften and fade, and in that space, God can work His perfect will in your life. His purpose for you is unfolding in this very moment, but to fully receive it, you must remain open and still. The process of spiritual alignment requires time. Time for God to remove the distractions, to clear the noise, and to prepare your heart to receive the deeper things He has for you. In this sacred moment, you are being drawn closer to God. He is leaning in with purpose, inviting you into this space of reflection, connection, and spiritual clarity. The timing of this moment is not by accident. It is exactly what you need right now. Heaven is speaking not in a loud or forceful way, but with intention. This is the divine alignment you've been waiting for. Your spirit recognized it before your mind did. God has brought you here at this very moment to hear His truth, to receive His guidance, and to step into your calling with clarity. As you take this moment to pause, reflect, and breathe, know that you are not alone in this. Heaven has been attentive to your journey, to your sacrifices, to your faith. And as you remain still, you are aligning with the divine purpose that has always been meant for you. God is calling you to listen, to embrace the stillness, and to allow this moment of reflection to strengthen your spirit and guide your steps forward. So take a breath. In this moment, release the rush. Trust that the divine interruption is not a coincidence, but a call to align with God's plan. Let the stillness settle deeply into your heart and allow God to speak His truth into your life. This is the moment that will transform your understanding, set you on the path to clarity, and prepare you for the next steps in your journey. You are exactly where you need to be. The chosen one often finds themselves carrying a weight of faith that is not visible to the world. It's easy for others to see the moments of triumph, the public victories, and the outward displays of success. But it's in the private, often unseen moments where true faith is tested and grown. These are the moments when the chosen one quietly endures hardship, faces struggles, and yet continues to hold on to hope and trust in God. Heaven sees these moments. God recognizes the silent strength the chosen one carries when no one else is watching. When the world is unaware, when others may not even know the depth of the chosen one's struggle, God sees it all. The endurance displayed in those quiet times is not unnoticed by heaven. It is acknowledged with divine attention. This quiet endurance is not a sign of weakness, but rather a testimony of inner strength. It shows that even when the chosen one feels worn, weary, or invisible, God is watching and honoring their faithfulness. These moments of silent endurance carry great value in the eyes of God as they reflect a trust that does not waver, a hope that does not fade, and a reliance on God's provision that does not depend on visible results or external validation. In the private moments of difficulty, the chosen one is being shaped for something far greater than they can see in that moment. In these private, unseen moments, the chosen one is being molded in ways that are beyond human comprehension. While the world may overlook or fail to recognize the depth of their struggles, God sees the heart, the internal fight, the perseverance, and the unwavering trust that continues even when the chosen one feels exhausted. Each moment of hardship is a thread woven into the fabric of their purpose. God knows the weight of their journey, and he is faithful to honor the quiet sacrifices made in the shadows. It's in these private struggles that true faith is refined. The world may value public success, applause, and external recognition, but God looks at the heart. The chosen one's endurance in solitude is a sign of spiritual maturity, a strength that isn't measured by visible results, but by the persistence of their faith in the face of adversity. It's easy to celebrate the victories that are seen by the world, but the quiet endurance displayed in secret when no one is watching is the real foundation upon which the chosen one's future will be built. God is aware of the pain, the frustration, and the moments when it feels like the chosen one is all alone in their journey. It's in these moments when they can no longer see the fruit of their efforts, or when they feel they are running on empty, that God's presence becomes the most precious. Even when the chosen one is tempted to doubt, to question, or to wonder if their efforts have been in vain, God sees. He sees the faith that continues even when circumstances seem to be working against them. He sees the quiet hope that rises in the midst of despair. He sees the strength of their spirit, even when the world cannot see it. These are the moments when true character is forged. When the chosen one feels weary, it's easy for them to think that their endurance has gone unnoticed, or that their sacrifices were in vain. But heaven acknowledges every moment they chose faith over fear, trust over doubt, and patience over frustration. Their endurance is not just about surviving the storm. It's about positioning them to receive something greater from God. In the private places, God is preparing them for the public opportunities that will come in His perfect timing. The quiet endurance shapes them to carry a weight of glory, wisdom, and grace that they could not have obtained through easy victories or smooth paths. These unseen moments of endurance are like the roots of a tree that grow deep into the soil, unseen by the world above. They establish the foundation upon which everything else is built. Without these deep roots, the chosen one would not be able to stand firm in the winds of life's challenges. It's during the quiet moments of struggle that their spiritual roots are growing deeper, strengthening their foundation, so that when the storms come, they can remain unshaken. God recognizes and honors the faithfulness in these hidden seasons where the chosen one may feel they are overlooked. In fact, this season is crucial to the fulfillment of their divine purpose. The hidden struggles prepare them for the visibility and responsibility that will come when the time is right. As the chosen one perseveres through private battles, they are being equipped to carry a purpose that will eventually be revealed publicly. God is not only shaping their character, but is also preparing them to handle the blessings, influence, and responsibilities that lie ahead. The public victories will come, and when they do, they will be the natural outflow of the quiet, steadfast endurance built in the hidden places. God is not moved by the applause of the world, but by the genuine, silent faith of His chosen ones. The endurance shown in the private moments will lead to public breakthroughs that testify to God's faithfulness, grace, and timing. When the chosen one steps into their divine purpose, they will carry with them a strength that is not born out of their own willpower, but from the quiet perseverance of trust and faith in God. It is in these unseen struggles that the chosen one is shaped for their greatest assignments. The endurance in private is not without purpose. It is the process by which God refines their character, strengthens their faith, and prepares them to stand strong in the face of any opposition. God sees the effort, the sacrifices, and the quiet moments of obedience. Even when the chosen one may not fully understand how these moments fit into the grander scheme of things, God is orchestrating everything for His divine purpose. Each act of faithfulness, no matter how small it seems, is building the foundation for something eternal. As the chosen one continues to endure in silence, they will come to realize that these private seasons are not periods of punishment or abandonment, but times of preparation for something greater. The strength they develop in these private moments will sustain them in the future when they step into their divine calling. It's in the secret places where God's greatest work is done. Just as a sculptor chisels away at a rough block of stone to reveal a masterpiece, God is shaping and refining the chosen one during these quiet moments, preparing them to reveal their full potential in the world. The chosen one's story will not be defined by their struggles alone, but by the way they chose to endure through them. God sees their silent faithfulness, and in due time, He will reveal the purpose that these quiet sacrifices and endurance were preparing them for. They may not always see the fruit of their labor immediately, but they can trust that God is at work. The seeds they've sown in silence will eventually bear fruit, and the world will see the beauty of what God has cultivated in them. Through this process of quiet endurance, the chosen one is being made ready to step into their divine purpose, equipped with the strength and wisdom they need to fulfill God's call on their life. While the world may measure success by loud achievements and visible accomplishments, God values the quiet sacrifices made in private. These sacrifices, often unnoticed by others, are the true indicators of a heart fully surrendered to God. The chosen one may have offered sacrifices of time, energy, and resources, often without fanfare or recognition. These sacrifices, though seemingly small or insignificant, are deeply significant in God's eyes. They are acts of worship, devotion, and trust. Whether it was choosing to serve others when it was inconvenient, offering a prayer when the heart was tired, or persevering through personal challenges. Without seeking recognition, God sees it all. In God's kingdom, quiet sacrifices are never wasted. They are the building blocks of spiritual maturity and divine preparation. Every act of faith, no matter how small, contributes to the foundation God is laying in the chosen one's life. These sacrifices are not just about what is given up, but about the heart behind them, the willingness to serve, to give, and to remain obedient, even when the results aren't immediately visible. God honors these sacrifices because they reflect a heart that is fully aligned with His will, a heart that is more concerned with fulfilling divine purpose than with gaining worldly recognition. In God's kingdom, the value of sacrifices is measured by their sincerity and devotion, not by how loudly or visibly they are displayed. While the world often associates success with public accolades, material rewards, and external recognition, God looks at the heart. He sees the quiet acts of service, the moments when the chosen one chooses to give, even when no one else is watching. The sacrifices made in private are those that form the foundation of spiritual growth, as they reflect a heart that desires to please God more than gain the approval of others. These sacrifices, though seemingly small or insignificant in the eyes of the world, carry eternal value in God's kingdom. Whether it's a decision to serve someone in need when it's inconvenient, or offering a prayer of intercession when the heart feels weary, each moment of sacrifice is a precious offering to God. It's not about the size or grandeur of the sacrifice. It's about the heart behind it. When the chosen one offers their time, energy, and resources, often when it's hard or unnoticed, it becomes a powerful act of worship. These seemingly small moments of sacrifice are like seeds planted in the soil of God's purpose. Over time, they grow into something beautiful, producing fruit that will bless others and fulfill the divine calling placed upon the chosen one's life. When the chosen one perseveres through personal challenges, without seeking recognition or reward, God is honored by their obedience and trust. The chosen one may not see the immediate impact of their sacrifices, but God, who knows every detail of their journey, sees the dedication and faithfulness in each act. It's in these moments of personal struggle, when they could choose to retreat or give up, that God's strength is made perfect. The chosen one's willingness to remain steadfast in difficult circumstances without the need for applause or acknowledgement is a reflection of their trust in God's timing and sovereignty. It's in these moments that God is shaping them, building their character, and preparing them for the greater work ahead. The significance of quiet sacrifices extends beyond what is given up. It speaks to the alignment of the chosen one's heart with God's will. It's easy to offer something when it's convenient, or when there's an immediate benefit, but true sacrifice is made when there's no guarantee of recognition or reward. When the chosen one sacrifices without expecting anything in return, they demonstrate the purity of their devotion to God. Their focus is not on receiving praise from the world, but on fulfilling the purpose for which God has called them. This deep devotion is what God values most. It's a heart that seeks to please God in every aspect of life, whether in public or private, whether the world notices or not. God's kingdom operates on a different set of values than the world. In a society that often measures success by external accomplishments and fame, the quiet sacrifices made in private are the true indicators of spiritual maturity. These sacrifices are not about striving for recognition or reward. They are about surrendering to God's will and aligning every part of life with His purpose. They reflect a heart that is fully dedicated to fulfilling divine destiny, regardless of whether anyone else acknowledges the effort. In this way, the chosen one is being prepared to carry out a mission that is greater than personal fame or worldly success. God sees every sacrifice made in His name, even the ones that seem small or insignificant. These acts of faith contribute to the foundation that God is laying in the chosen one's life. They may not be immediately visible or celebrated by others, but they are shaping the character, wisdom, and strength necessary for the divine assignments ahead. God does not forget a single sacrifice. Each one is accounted for, and He rewards those who faithfully serve Him, even in the quietest of moments. It is in these private sacrifices that the chosen one grows spiritually. As they offer their time, energy, and resources to God, they develop a deeper understanding of His heart. They begin to see the world through God's eyes, recognizing the needs of others and responding with compassion and generosity. These sacrifices shape their hearts, refining them to be vessels of His love and grace. Through their obedience, the chosen one learns the power of humility and service qualities that are essential for fulfilling their divine calling. The chosen one may face moments of frustration, wondering if their sacrifices are truly making a difference. At times, they may feel invisible, unnoticed by the world. But God assures them that nothing done in His name is ever wasted. Every act of sacrifice, no matter how small, contributes to the unfolding of His divine plan. It is through these private moments of obedience that God is preparing the chosen one for greater responsibilities. Each sacrifice forms a part of the larger puzzle that is their divine purpose. As the chosen one continues to make quiet sacrifices in obedience to God, they will begin to see how these acts of devotion shape the course of their life. God's purpose for them will become clearer as they remain faithful in these small moments. The quiet sacrifices made in private will eventually be revealed in the public sphere, as God's glory is reflected in their life. The chosen one's character, shaped by their willingness to serve, will shine through in every aspect of their public life, demonstrating God's faithfulness and love. In the grand scheme of God's kingdom, it's not the loudest actions that matter most. It's the quiet, consistent obedience that forms the foundation for spiritual growth. The chosen one's willingness to make sacrifices, even when unseen by the world, speaks volumes in God's kingdom. These acts of devotion are not just for personal growth. They are for the fulfillment of a divine purpose that will impact generations to come. Each sacrifice, each moment of obedience, is a building block in the chosen one's spiritual journey, shaping them into the person they are meant to be. As the chosen one continues to offer their sacrifices in obedience to God, they will see the fruit of their labor in ways they may not have anticipated. God will honor their faithfulness, and His plans will unfold in His perfect timing. The quiet sacrifices they make today will pave the way for the fulfillment of their divine calling, and they will find that nothing in their journey was wasted. What they have given up, God will return to them in abundance, and they will experience the fullness of the purpose for which they were created. In the end, God's kingdom values what is done in secret far more than what is done in the public eye. The quiet sacrifices, the moments of obedience, and the heart that seeks to serve God above all else are the true markers of spiritual growth and divine purpose. The chosen one's life will be a testament to the power of quiet faith, steady devotion, and humble service. In the eyes of God, nothing done in obedience is ever wasted. It all contributes to the fulfillment of His divine plan, and in His perfect timing, it will be revealed to the world. Hardship, although challenging and often painful, is never without purpose in God's divine plan. The chosen one's enduring moments of difficulty are not mere trials to survive, but part of a divine process of transformation. Each sacrifice, each moment of endurance, each time the chosen one chose faith over fear, contributed to their growth and preparation for a greater purpose. God uses hardship to refine and transform, to shape the chosen one into a vessel capable of carrying out the divine assignment ahead. These moments of difficulty serve as the crucible where character is refined, faith is strengthened, and spiritual maturity is birthed. While others may see hardship as mere survival, God sees it as an opportunity for transformation. The chosen one is not simply enduring, they are being transformed, reshaped, and prepared for what is to come. The hardship does not define them. Rather, it is the process by which God is molding them into someone who can carry His glory and fulfill His purpose on earth. Each hardship faced, each quiet sacrifice made, and each moment of endurance adds to the spiritual strength that the chosen one will draw from in their future calling. These trials and struggles are not without value. They are integral to the preparation process. Through hardship, the chosen one is being transformed into the person God always intended them to be. Each moment of hardship is like a refining fire, burning away impurities and forging the chosen one's character into something stronger, more resilient, and more aligned with God's purpose. While the world may perceive these trials as obstacles or punishments, God sees them as opportunities for divine transformation. The chosen one's endurance is not in vain. Each struggle is part of the divine process that is shaping them into a vessel capable of carrying God's glory and fulfilling His will on earth. Through every trial, God is drawing out the depth of their faith, refining their trust in Him, and preparing them for the next chapter of their spiritual journey. What many might label as suffering or difficulty, God views as a training ground for the chosen one's calling. The hardships faced in private, the times when they have felt overwhelmed, misunderstood, or even abandoned are not wasted in God's eyes. These moments of struggle serve a higher purpose. They are the crucible where God's refining work takes place. In the midst of these challenges, the chosen one's faith is strengthened and their trust in God deepens. Each sacrifice made in obedience, even when it was difficult or painful, is an act of worship that pleases God and shapes the chosen one's heart to be more like His. God is never distant in the moments of hardship. In fact, it is during these times that His presence is often felt most powerfully. When the chosen one feels they have nothing left to give, when they are at their lowest point, it is in those moments that God meets them with His strength, His peace, and His grace. The chosen one learns to rely not on their own strength, but on the sustaining power of God's presence. Through the hardships, they are learning the deep truth that their power does not come from their own ability to endure, but from God's ability to empower them in the midst of their struggles. As the chosen one endures and perseveres, they are being reshaped from the inside out. Their character is being refined and strengthened, and their spiritual maturity is growing. Every time they choose faith over fear, trust over doubt, and obedience over comfort, they are becoming more attuned to the voice of God. These choices are building a foundation of spiritual strength that will sustain them throughout their divine calling. The hardships they face now are not just shaping them for the tasks at hand, they are preparing them for the greater work God has planned for them in the future. These trials are not meaningless struggles. They are deeply purposeful, acting as divine instruments of transformation. While others may see the chosen one's perseverance as mere survival, God sees it as preparation. Each moment of endurance is adding to the spiritual strength that will fuel the chosen one's future assignments. They are not being shaped by their struggles alone. They are being shaped by God's hand. He is using each challenge to mold them into the person they are destined to become. This is why hardship, though painful, is never without purpose. As the chosen one walks through the fire of hardship, they are being refined and transformed. Each test, each trial, each difficulty serves to shape them into a stronger, more resilient vessel for God's purposes. These moments are the defining moments that will one day lead to their divine purpose being revealed in the world. The purpose that is unfolding in them during these private trials will be the same purpose that will bring glory to God in public. The spiritual strength, maturity, and wisdom gained in hardship will equip them to fulfill the unique calling God has placed on their life. The road may be long, and the path may be difficult, but every step along the way is part of God's divine plan. The chosen one may not understand the reason for their hardship in the moment, but God sees the bigger picture. He knows that through each trial, they are being prepared for something greater. It is not the hardship itself that defines them, but how they respond to it. Their ability to remain faithful to trust God and to persevere in the midst of difficulty is a testimony to the strength and resilience that God is building within them. God's refining work is never rushed. It takes time for the chosen one to be transformed, and it takes patience for them to fully grasp the depth of their calling. The process is slow, but it is deliberate. Just as a potter carefully shapes and molds the clay, God is patiently shaping the chosen one's heart, mind, and spirit to be in perfect alignment with His will. The hardship they face is the potter's wheel, and as they endure, they are being formed into the vessel God designed them to be. The chosen one may not always understand why they have to go through difficult times. They may question why their journey seems harder than others. But God's answer is clear. He is preparing them for something far greater than they can see in the present moment. Every moment of difficulty, every trial, and every act of obedience, no matter how small, is contributing to the divine preparation that will one day result in their calling being revealed. What they are going through now is not for nothing. It is all part of God's perfect plan to shape them for His glory. Through each season of hardship, the chosen one is becoming more equipped to carry out their divine assignment. They are learning how to rely on God, how to trust in His timing, and how to stand firm in their faith. Every trial strengthens their character and deepens their relationship with God, preparing them for the purpose they were always meant to fulfill. God is using their struggles to refine them, to build them up, and to prepare them for the next step in their journey. In the end, hardship is not just about survival. It is about transformation. It is not just about enduring the storm. It is about being shaped by it. The chosen one's faith, endurance, and perseverance in the face of hardship are creating the foundation for something far greater. God is refining them, shaping them, and preparing them to fulfill their divine purpose with strength, grace, and clarity. Their hardships will one day be seen as the very things that propelled them toward their calling, and the glory of God will shine through every trial they endured. Restoration, as God defines it, is not about changing external circumstances, but about transforming the heart. For the chosen one, Restoration begins when their heart is willing to remain open to God's healing and guidance, even in the midst of struggle or uncertainty. Often, the chosen one may find themselves in seasons where external conditions are not changing as quickly or as dramatically as they would like. However, true restoration happens within. It's about surrendering the need for immediate answers or outward success and trusting that God is at work within. When the heart is open and receptive to God's purpose, the restoration process begins. In this season of divine preparation, the chosen one must allow God to work in ways that may not be immediately visible to others. Restoration is not about fixing what is broken outwardly, but about allowing God to heal and rebuild from the inside. The chosen one must be willing to trust the process, understanding that even when things appear stagnant or unclear, God is doing deep work in their heart. It's a season of allowing God to remove what is unnecessary, to heal what is wounded, and to make space for His divine plans. By opening their heart to God, the chosen one makes room for true restoration to take place. It is in this openness that healing begins, not because of the circumstances, but because the chosen one has chosen to trust and surrender to God's will. In this process of divine restoration, it is important for the chosen one to recognize that healing doesn't always look like instant transformation. God's work is not a quick fix to external circumstances, but a deep, long-lasting change in the spirit, mind, and heart. Often, the external world may remain unchanged, and the chosen one may struggle with feelings of impatience or frustration. However, God's work is happening on a much deeper level. The restoration of the chosen one is like a seed being planted in the soil of the heart, where it is nurtured and grown in secret before it is ever seen above the surface. True restoration requires surrender, the willingness to release control and allow God to work in His perfect timing. The chosen one must let go of their need for immediate results, understanding that God's plan unfolds gradually. This requires faith and trust, especially when it seems like nothing is happening. But God is not inactive during these quiet seasons. He is carefully and intentionally working in the chosen one's life, removing the burdens that weigh them down, healing wounds that have yet to be addressed, and preparing them to step into the fullness of their divine purpose. While external circumstances may seem unchanged, the transformation within the chosen one is far more important. The heart must be healed first, as it is the center of God's divine work. This internal healing allows the chosen one to shed the weight of past hurts, disappointments, and misunderstandings that have clouded their ability to walk fully in their calling. It is through the healing of the heart that they can begin to see clearly, feel deeply, and respond with love, grace, and compassion. The external restoration will follow when the heart has been fully prepared. The process of restoration is not always easy, and it often involves confronting painful truths, old wounds, and hidden fears. God will gently guide the chosen one through these difficult moments, not to cause harm, but to refine and purify their spirit. The healing process may bring to the surface emotions and experiences that have been buried for years, but God will not leave the chosen one in that place of pain. He will walk them through it, offering His comfort, His wisdom, and His peace. The chosen one may feel vulnerable and exposed, but this is the moment when they are being made whole. Through this process of divine restoration, the chosen one is also being prepared for the next phase of their purpose. The work that God is doing within them is shaping them for greater things. Just as a potter molds clay with care and intention, God is shaping the chosen one's heart, character, and spirit. The old broken pieces are being transformed into something beautiful and purposeful. What once seemed like defeat or loss is being transformed into strength, wisdom, and compassion that will carry the chosen one into their divine assignment. As the chosen one continues to trust God's timing and surrender to His process, they will begin to see the fruit of this quiet internal restoration. It may not happen overnight, but God is faithful to complete the work He has started. the chosen one will begin to notice a shift in their perspective, in their relationships, and in their own hearts. They will experience a deeper sense of peace, a renewed sense of purpose, and a clearer understanding of their calling. The restoration will not just be a return to what was, but a new beginning, a fresh chapter in their divine journey. This season of restoration is not only about personal healing, but also about preparing the chosen one to walk in greater authority, wisdom, and grace. As their heart is healed, they become better equipped to fulfill their divine purpose. The healing that takes place within will radiate outward, touching the lives of others and bringing about transformation in the world around them. The chosen one is not just being restored for their own benefit, but for the benefit of those they are called to serve. When the chosen one emerges from this season of private restoration, they will do so with a deep understanding of who they are in God and the role they are meant to play in His kingdom. The restoration that has taken place in the secret place will be evident in their confidence, their clarity, and their alignment with God's will. They will step into the next phase of their purpose, not in their own strength, but in the power of God's Spirit working through them. They will walk with a new sense of authority, knowing that they have been prepared for this moment by the very hand of God. Ultimately, restoration is not just about returning to a former state, but about being made new. It is about stepping into the fullness of what God has always intended for the chosen one. As they allow God to work in their hearts, the chosen one will find themselves stronger, more compassionate, and more equipped for the purpose that lies ahead. The external changes will follow the internal transformation, and the chosen one will step into their divine calling with confidence and grace, knowing that God has been faithful to complete the work He started within them. In the quiet moments of restoration, the chosen one can trust that they are not alone. God is with them, guiding them through each step, strengthening them in their weakness, and preparing them for the journey ahead. Every moment of surrender, every act of faith, and every choice to trust God in the midst of hardship is building the foundation for the chosen one's future. The restoration process is a divine work that will ultimately bring about a powerful transformation in their life, enabling them to walk boldly into the purpose God has prepared for them. Through this time of internal healing and restoration, the chosen one is becoming exactly who God always intended them to be. During this time, the chosen one is experiencing internal shifts that may not be seen by the world. This is a private season of refinement where God is working beneath the surface, bringing clarity and healing. The world may see quietness or stillness, but what God is doing within is far from inactive. The chosen one is being shaped internally with clarity forming. Where there was once confusion and healing taking place where there was once hurt. This season is about divine healing on a deep personal level. It's a time when the chosen one's spirit is being realigned with God's purpose and old wounds are being healed. While the external world may not notice these shifts, the chosen one's soul is being prepared for what is to come. It's a season of personal growth that happens away from the noise and distractions of the world. The clarity that is developing within them will eventually be seen in the fruit of their lives. It is in this quiet, private space that they are being refined, strengthened, and prepared to carry out the divine calling God has for them. God's work in this season is intentional and thorough. The chosen one is learning to discern what truly matters, letting go of the things that once held them back, and embracing the healing that comes with divine transformation. This internal work allows the chosen one to align more closely with God's will, shedding the weight of past hurts, misunderstandings, and confusion. Through this process, they will emerge with a clearer understanding of their purpose and a deeper relationship with God. In this sacred season, the chosen one is being refined in ways that are not immediately visible to the world. The external stillness is not a reflection of inactivity, but of a deep spiritual work that is happening in the unseen places of the heart and mind. God is shaping the chosen one in a way that will later bear fruit. But for now, it's a process that requires patience, surrender, and trust. While others may not recognize the transformation taking place, God sees every internal shift, every moment of healing, and every act of surrender. The quietness of this season allows the chosen one to focus on the most important aspect of their spiritual journey, their relationship with God. In the noise and rush of the world, it's easy to lose sight of the still small voice of God. But in this time of solitude and seclusion, the chosen one is learning to listen more intently to God's whispers. The distractions of the world have been removed, and what remains is an opportunity for deeper intimacy with the Creator. This time is not wasted. It is sacred. God is preparing the chosen one for something far greater, but first, He must ensure that they are aligned with His purpose and ready to carry out the divine calling on their life. God's work in this season is intentional. Every moment of stillness, every time the chosen one chooses to wait rather than act impulsively, is part of God's divine plan. The internal shifts happening within them are not random. They are carefully orchestrated by God to bring about transformation and healing. The healing that is taking place may not be visible to others, but it is essential for the chosen one to step into their destiny. Through these quiet moments of inner work, they are being prepared to carry a purpose that is beyond their understanding at this time. During this season, the chosen one is learning to let go of the things that once held them back. Whether it's past hurts, unresolved pain, or limiting beliefs about themselves, God is gently guiding them to release what no longer serves them. The healing process is not always comfortable, but it is necessary for their growth. God is removing the emotional and spiritual weights that have hindered their ability to fully embrace their divine calling. This is a time of purification where the chosen one is being refined like gold in the fire. The impurities are being burned away, and what remains is a vessel that is pure, strong, and ready to be used for God's glory. The healing process also requires a deeper understanding of God's will. As the chosen one becomes more aligned with God's purpose, their vision becomes clearer. They begin to see the bigger picture of their life and the role they are meant to play in God's kingdom. This clarity is not rushed. It comes in God's perfect timing. During this season, the chosen one is learning to trust that God is working even when they cannot see the full plan. It is a season of developing patience and faith in God's timing. While the external circumstances may not show immediate progress, the chosen one is being prepared for what lies ahead. The quiet, private space is also where the chosen one's relationship with God deepens. In this time of reflection and intimacy, they are discovering a new level of connection with their Creator. They are learning to lean into God for strength, wisdom, and guidance. The distractions of the world are no longer competing for their attention, and they are able to focus fully on what God is saying. It is in this space of divine intimacy that the chosen one gains a clearer understanding of their purpose and calling. This time is about building a foundation that will support the work God has called them to do. God is not just healing the chosen one, He is also equipping them for their next season. As they allow God to work in their hearts, they are becoming more equipped to handle the challenges and responsibilities that will come with their divine assignment. This season of personal growth is necessary preparation for what is to come. The chosen one may not yet fully understand the depth of their calling, but through this time of inner transformation, they are being shaped into the person who will be able to carry out the mission that God has given them. The work God is doing in the chosen one's life may not be immediately visible to others, but it is invaluable. It is in these hidden moments of surrender, trust, and healing that the chosen one is being prepared for greater things. Their future calling requires a strong spiritual foundation, and this time of inner work is essential for that foundation to be built. The quiet moments of growth and healing will eventually bear fruit, and the chosen one will emerge with a clearer understanding of who they are and what they are meant to do. As the chosen one continues to yield to God's refining process, they will begin to see the results of their internal shifts. They will notice a deeper sense of peace, a clearer vision for their future, and a stronger relationship with God. The healing they experience will not only affect them personally, but will also ripple out to others. The clarity they gain during this season will enable them to serve others more effectively and with greater purpose. The transformation taking place within them is not just for their own benefit. It is preparing them to fulfill the divine calling they were created for. In the quiet of this season, the chosen one is being prepared for the next phase of their journey. This time of private transformation will eventually lead to public fulfillment. God is doing deep work now so that the chosen one can step into their purpose with confidence, clarity, and strength. This season of healing and refinement is not just about surviving. It is about thriving and being equipped to carry out God's work on earth. The chosen one may not fully understand the depth of what God is doing in their life right now, but they can trust that every moment of healing, every internal shift, and every act of surrender is leading them closer to their divine calling. God is preparing them for greatness, and in His perfect timing, the chosen one will emerge from this season with a clearer understanding of their purpose and a deeper relationship with Him. Through this time of private transformation, they are being shaped into the person God always intended them to be, ready to fulfill their divine calling with strength, grace, and confidence. Restoration unfolds not in the loud moments, but in the quiet spaces where humility and trust take root. The chosen one is learning the importance of waiting patiently and humbly during this time. Humility is not about weakness, but about recognizing the need for God's guidance in every moment. In this season of internal growth, the chosen one learns to rely on God's timing rather than their own efforts to force change. Trust is the cornerstone of this season. The chosen one must trust that God knows exactly what He is doing, even when it feels like nothing is happening on the outside. It is through this trust that they begin to see restoration unfolding. As they remain humble and aligned with God's will, they will begin to see the signs of growth, transformation, and healing that were happening quietly within them. God's timing is perfect, and while it may feel like a slow process, restoration happens in His way, not in a rush, but with purpose. This quiet restoration will eventually become evident to the chosen one and to those around them. When the time is right, the fruit of this period of internal growth will emerge in a way that is aligned with God's perfect plan. But for now, the chosen one's task is to trust, wait, and continue to humbly seek God's presence. The restoration they are experiencing is not just about healing. It is about preparing them to walk in their divine purpose with clarity, confidence, and a deep reliance on God's strength. It's a process that is not rushed, but unfolds quietly and steadily, becoming evident when God knows the time is right. The process of restoration is one that requires deep trust in God's sovereignty and perfect timing. It is easy to become impatient, especially when the world around the chosen one seems to move forward while they are stuck in a season of waiting. But in these quiet moments of stillness, God is doing the most important work. This season may not bring external applause or visible progress, but it is in these humble, hidden places that God is preparing the chosen one for greater things. Trusting in God's timing means relinquishing control and allowing Him to guide the path. The chosen one must resist the urge to force things to happen according to their own schedule or expectations. Humility in this context means acknowledging that God knows best and that his plans for the chosen one are always better than anything they could arrange on their own. During this season, the chosen one may feel as though nothing is changing, but inwardly, God is working diligently, preparing them for the future with care and intention. This quiet season of restoration is like a gardener tending to a seed planted deep in the soil. The seed is not visible, nor is it growing at an obvious pace. It is underground in the dark, being nurtured and strengthened by God's hand. The gardener's work is not seen by the outside world, but over time, the seed begins to break through the surface. In much the same way, the chosen one may not immediately see the results of their restoration, but beneath the surface, God is building something strong and beautiful. When the time is right, the restoration will emerge, but it must first take root in the quiet places. During this time of restoration, the chosen one's task is not to strive or force things into existence. Instead, it is to surrender fully to God's process. This is a season for deepening reliance on God's strength, for learning how to wait with faith, and for discovering the beauty of God's unfolding plan. It is also a time for personal growth, where the chosen one is being transformed internally, gaining wisdom, patience, and clarity. While the world may value immediate results, God values the inner work of the heart, the quiet, uncelebrated process that prepares his chosen one for the greater work he has in store. There may be moments during this restoration period when the chosen one feels discouraged or unsure if the process is even working. It is easy to question if they are truly being restored or if they are simply stuck in a season of limbo. However, the absence of visible change does not mean that restoration is not happening. God's work in the chosen one is far deeper than what can be seen on the surface. Restoration begins in the heart and soul. As the chosen one humbly surrenders their fears, doubts, and anxieties to God, he will renew them in ways that go beyond external appearances. The real transformation happens in the heart, the place where true growth begins. As the chosen one continues to trust in God's perfect timing, they will begin to notice subtle signs of transformation. These signs may not be dramatic, but they will be profound. Perhaps they will experience new clarity in areas that once seemed uncertain, or a renewed sense of peace in the midst of uncertainty. Maybe they will begin to see relationships healed, old wounds mended, or new opportunities unfold before them. These are all signs that the restoration process is working, even if it feels slow or unseen. When the time is right, the chosen one will begin to see the fruit of this quiet, patient restoration. In the meantime, the chosen one's task is to remain humble and aligned with God's will. They must resist the temptation to rush or manipulate circumstances to fit their own desires. Instead, they are called to remain in God's presence, trusting that He is doing the work that only He can do. As they remain faithful in this season of restoration, they will grow spiritually and emotionally, preparing them for the next phase of their journey. Each moment of stillness, each step of obedience, and each act of trust in God's timing is preparing the chosen one for the greater things to come. The chosen one must also embrace the peace that comes from knowing they are exactly where God wants them to be. In a world that often values speed and instant gratification, waiting on God can feel like an uncomfortable or frustrating experience. But in the secret, quiet moments of waiting, God is doing a work that will last far longer than any quick fix could. As the chosen one surrenders their need for immediate results and embraces the stillness, they will begin to understand that true peace comes not from seeing the entire picture, but from trusting in God's process and His perfect timing. Restoration is not just about healing what's broken, it is about preparing the chosen one for the next season of their life. The restoration process may feel quiet and even uneventful at times, but it is foundational to the purpose God has called the chosen one to fulfill. The humility to wait, the trust to believe in God's plan, and the openness to allow God to work without rushing the process will lay the groundwork for the future. When the restoration is complete, the chosen one will step into the next season of their divine calling, prepared and ready to fulfill God's purpose for their life with clarity and confidence. The fruit of this season will be evident in the chosen one's life when the time is right. The work that God is doing in their heart and soul will become visible in their relationships, their ministry, and their personal life. The chosen one will emerge from this season not only healed, but strengthened, with a deeper understanding of who they are in Christ and a clearer sense of purpose. This restoration, though quiet and slow in its unfolding, will result in a powerful transformation that will enable the chosen one to fulfill their divine calling and walk in the fullness of God's purpose for their life. As the chosen one continues to trust, wait, and remain aligned with God's will, they can rest in the assurance